Asia during World War I. While the Pacific Theater was a major and well-known battleground of World War II, it may come as a surprise that Asian nations play a role in a World War I. Both Japan and China actually declared war on Germany in hopes gaining regional dominance, while China never sent troops into the battle. Its involvement in World War I was influenced and had impacts stretched far beyond the war, ongoing shape in the country's future indelible. Under the rule of Qing Dynasty, China was the most powerful nation in the East for nearly 3 centuries. But losing the First Sino-Japanese War into Japan in 1895 put an end in that. The downhill slides didn't end with losing the war in subsequent series of theaterist divide of chunks of China between Russia and Japan. A continuation of creations of European concessions like Hong Kong or French settlements in Shanghai. The First Sino-Japanese War was conflicted between Japan and China in 1894 to 1895. That marked the merge of Japan as a major world power and demonstrated weakness of a Chinese empire. The war grew out of the conflict between the two countries of supremacy in Korea. The First Sino-Japanese War broke out in Korea following the Tonghak Rebellion and the Chinese government's involvement at the request of the Korean king. The Japanese consider these violations of the E2 Convention. They sent 8,000 troops to Korea. After the declarations of the First Sino-Japanese War on August 1, 1894, Japanese troops scored quick and overwhelming victories in both land and sea. By March 1895, the Japanese controlled Shandong province and Manchuria and commanded the sea approaches to Beijing. The Japanese sued for peace. The Treaty of Shimonoseki finally ended the conflict. The First Sino-Japanese Wars ended with the Treaty of Shimonoseki, in which China recognized the independence of Korea and ceded Taiwan. The adjoining Piscodaries and the Liaodong Peninsula agreed to pay a large indemnity and give Japan trading privileges on Chinese territory.
The Qing or Qing dynasty, also called the Manchu or Manchu dynasty, was the last of the imperial dynasties of China, spanning from 1644 to 1911 and 12. The Qing dynasty was primarily located in what is now China and Mongolia, along with the parts of Russia. The Qing dynasty, established in 1636 by the Manchus, to designate the regime in Manchuria. In what is now northeastern China, it became the imperial dynasty of Old China in 1644. After the reigning Ming dynasty called upon the Manchus for military assistance, the Manchus used opening to declare their own imperial rule. Under the Qing dynasty, the territory of the Chinese Empire expanded greatly, and the population grew from 150 to 450 million. Many of the non-Chinese minorities within the empire were Sinicized, and an integrated national economy was established. The dynasty's cultural accomplishments included work with jade carving, painting, and porcelain, philological development, and the development of genesi or picking of opera.
Xuanping Wade Gas Romanization. Shenfeng, personal name Shengmeng. Yishu, temple name Miao Hao. Wenxiong, posthumous name Shi. Shandi, born July 17, 1831 in Beijing, China. China died August 22, 1861 here in Rihe. Or Jihol now Chenji, Hebei Province. Reign name Yan Hao of the 7th Emperor of the King or Manchu Dynasty in 1644 to 1911 and 12 of China. During his reign in 1850 to 1861, China was visited internally by Taiping Rebellion in 1850 to 1864, and externally by conflicts with the encroaching European powers. Frederick II, by name Frederick the Great, in German Friedrich der Grosse, born in January 24, 1712 in Berlin, Prussia, died in August 17, 1786 in Potsdam near Berlin. King of Prussia in 1740 to 1786, a brilliant military campaigner who in a series of diplomatic stratagems and wars against Austria and other powers, greatly enlarged Prussia's territories and made Prussia the foremost military power in Europe. An enlightened absolute monarch, he favored Prince Ludwig in art and built a French Rococo sanctuary in near Berlin. Beiyang Army, or Chinese Pinyin Beiyang Junlit Northern Ocean Army, named after Beiyang region, was a large Western-style Imperial Chinese and established by the Qing Dynasty government in the late 19th century. It was the centerpiece of the general construction of Qing China's military system. The Beiyang Army played a major role in Chinese politics for at least 3 decades in arguably. Right up to 1949, it made the Xinhua Revolution of 1911 possible, and by dividing into warlord factions known as the Beiyang Clique or Chinese Pinyin Beiyang Jolfa or unshared in a period of regional division.